We'll be exploring 5 different styles of aquascaping and their intricacies that make them so unique and captivating. Starting off with the most common style, welcome to the jungle. This style is the most simplest style to reproduce. Its main attractive features resembles the untamed nature of a jungle. There are no restrictions on the number of plant species and can accommodate a wide variety of different fish species. Although tall, large-leaved plants such as Echinodori species are more widely used to populate the tank. The large presence of plants will also help to keep the water clean and keep algae at bay. Depending on how untamed you want the scape to look, this style does not need as much aquatic plant husbandry or hardscape compared to the other styles. There are disadvantages to the jungle scape. There is a significant amount of plant growth in the aquarium. There can be limited open space available for fish and other livestock to move around in. Fish may not be the only ones that may run into trouble. Depending on the plant species you use, there may be some competition amongst them for terrestrial space and especially light. Dense plant mass and larger plants will overshadow smaller plants, which may stun their growth, thus leading to algae growth for those struggling plants. The Nature Aquarium is a style that was developed by one of the fathers of aquascaping, Takashi Amano. Nature style aims to create a harmonious and natural-looking aquascape that resembles a landscape or an image from nature. My Boreal Fluvici aquascape that I made would fall into this category. This style can be pretty difficult to achieve due to the amount of detail and complex work required. Wood, rocks, and plants will play important roles in complementing each other to create that harmonious look. You will need to think of the shape of the hardscape and plants, their size, color, and plant growth rate. The type of fish you choose will also need to be considered. You will need to use fish that can enhance the overall layout through their behavior, shape, color, and size. On to the most difficult aquascaping style. The Iwagumi style is a Japanese design that features the limited use of fish and low-growing plants with an arrangement of stone to create a minimalistic and Zen-inspired design. The most common type of rock used in Iwagumis are Seiru stone, but you can use any type of rock you want. A fun fact, the term Iwagumi means rock formation in Japanese. Speaking of rock formation, there is a certain theory to follow when making the arrangement of rocks. It showcases 4 main rocks. The Oyaishi, which is the largest stone and is placed in the focal point. The Fukuishi, the second largest stone, acts to balance out the Oyaishi. The Soeshi, the third largest stone, strengthens and emphasizes the Oyaishi. Lastly, we have the Tsuteishi, which is the 4th largest stone and complements the entire rock formation. This type of formation does not restrict you from just using 4 rocks. You can use tons of rocks in the scape, but you will need to have those 4 main ones. When it comes to livestock, Iwagumi layouts typically use nano-schooling fish, regardless of the size of the tank. The use of their size gives into the minimalistic design and allows for a sense of peace and scale due to their fluid schooling movements. The reason why this layout is one of the most difficult styles to achieve is all due to its maintenance. Due to the very limiting selection of plants, it is very easy to over-fertilize or inject too much CO2, which will create a favorable environment for algae to take over. Furthermore, majority of the plant species used in Iwagumis have slow to medium growth, thus cannot utilize as much nutrients, which can contribute to an over-fertilized water column. Lighting is also another issue, as this style is more open compared to other layouts. Using a lean fertilizing method and an adequate light intensity will help combat this issue. The Biotope style's aim is to replicate a specific natural habitat or ecosystem such as lakes and rivers. Everything in this layout is specifically chosen to represent the chosen environment. For example, in a river aquascape, one would use a variety of long sticks and stones to recreate a stream-like environment. The plants and fish species are also selectively chosen to further enhance the looks of the overall aquascape. This isn't a difficult style per se. The only real difficulty is researching the correct materials, livestock, and plants that will fit the ecosystem you are aiming for. The Dutch style is a very unique layout that utilizes the beauty of plants and contains no hardscape at all. Its main focus is showcasing arrangement of plants with each species complementing each other. Think of it like a bouquet of flowers. Plants are planted in groups of species instead of mixing different species altogether, which makes stem plants to be highly recommended for this type of aquascape. Furthermore, the Dutch style features raised layers or Dutch streets, which are just layers or a row of a single plant species. Red plants or larger plants are commonly used as a focal point to draw our eyes to in the sea of green. As for the fish, any approximately sized schooling fish are used to highlight and contribute to the beauty of the plants. There's a few hidden rules for the Dutch aquascape. For example, you should not have two species with similar leaf structures or those with similar coloring side by side. These rules are not mandatory, but they do help in flexing your knowledge about plants, which is where the difficulty lies. The Dutch aquascape can be difficult to master due to the need of having extensive knowledge of aquatic plants. Speaking of plants, if you want to know a few red plant species that you can use as a focal point that don't need CO2, check out this video. Or if you want to know some easy beginner level plants, check out this video where I go over 10 of them. If there are any other types of aquascapes that I missed, let me know in the comments and I can do a second part.